Today, we are doing one of my favorite segments, Ask Alex. Or no, Dear Alex. Dear Alex, relationship advice. I'm excited for it. What's cool about today, too, is there's also a form that you guys can submit your own advice to that we will do for the next segment. A form not very romantic. Well, what do you want from me? I, 25-year-old female, want to leave my partner, 26-year-old male, over a set of knives. My partner and I have been dating for almost 5 years and living together for almost 2. I think I want to leave him over a knife set. Backstory, I love to cook. I'm not a professional in any way, but I enjoy spending time in my kitchen. So over the years, I've purchased some very nice kitchen equipment, one of my purchases being a $600 knife set. These knives are amazing. I love them, but they can't go in the dishwasher. My partner and I have an agreement that when I cook, he'll clean up. So I've explained to him that the knives can't go in the dishwasher and that they need to get hand washed. The problem, I keep finding my knives in the dishwasher. When this happens, I usually ask him or remind him about the no dishwasher rule, and the typical answer I receive is, oh, I must have not been paying attention. This answer doesn't sit right with me because it's happened several times, and he knows I've always been upset every time I found them in the dishwasher. Fast forward to yesterday, found some of my knives in the dishwasher. Again, and quite honestly, I'm tired of having the same argument with him. I just feel like if he can't respect my simple request of hand washing the knives, how much respect can he really have for me? Also, I should mention that I've said on multiple occasions for him to just not clean the knives at all and to leave them for me to clean, which he also doesn't do. And I also understand that I could just clean them right away, but at this point, it's more about the principle versus who should clean the knives. So anyway, would I be in the wrong if I left my partner over some knives? Here's the thing, right? You can leave anyone for any reason. If you feel disrespected in a relationship or you don't want to be in a relationship anymore, then you should just leave them, right? But it is really petty, and I feel like there's definitely some other stuff going on if you're like, you know what, these knives are this final straw. I feel like if you guys had a perfect relationship and this is the only thing wrong in your relationship, you'd be fucking stupid to leave this man. I'm sorry. But if you have a perfect relationship and this is the biggest issue you can find, honey, figure something else out with the knives. Put them to the side when you're done. Put them away from everything else. Okay? And do them later, or get him to do them later. Separate them. Whatever. Put some steps in place to make sure your knives aren't getting messed up. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you want to leave this person and you feel disrespected, and that's your prerogative. If you want to leave the man, then leave the man. You can do it for any fucking reason. Be like, he left one sock on the floor one time. I'm leaving him. Okay, fine. Is it petty? Is it stupid? Yes, I think so. But you can leave them for any fucking reason you want to. But I feel like you're trying to make up a reason at this point. If this is the final straw, then what else this man's doing, you know? Or are you just like crazy, you know? Like, are you just making stuff up that are more important than it actually is because you want to leave this man? Is it one of those things where it's like he's perfect every way, but this is the thing that you want to hang on to because you're actually not happy? You know what I mean? This one doesn't have enough info. It doesn't. They never seem to. It always seems very like tunnel vision into the lives of these people. I've said this once. I've said this twice. I'll say it a million times every time we do this segment. Relationships are complicated. So it's kind of hard to answer people based on this little snippet of their lives. But this is all I have to respond to. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a red flag, though. It's a sign of a bigger problem. It is true. You have asked this person over and over again. But is it bleeding into the rest of your relationship, or is he just really stupid when it comes to these fucking knives? He's just not listening, and I get that. So I'm assuming it does bleed into the rest of their relationship. So the actual bigger issue is that she doesn't feel respected in the relationship and doesn't feel like her partner listens to her properly. But this is the actual tangible thing that she can share and point to and say, see this right here. She even told him she'd wash them separately. So if you can't understand that, they are doomed. Yeah, he could just be really fucking stupid.
Good one.
Dumb people need loving too, okay? Dumb people need loving too. But, you know, have to choose what hill you die on. I totally agree. You have to choose the hill you die on. And if this is the hill you want to die on, then that's totally fine. My 31-year-old female husband, 33-year-old male, turns into a different person with talking with his guy friends. That's just reality. Whenever he talks with his friends, he constantly makes sexist comments like, get you a girl to cook and clean and make you a sandwich. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. Okay, wait, maybe this is a little different. I thought it was gonna be boys will be boys. I thought it was like like they talk about boobies and like sex stuff, and it's like, okay, that's a little much. That's a little much. How old is he? Hold on, how old is he? 33. Bro, are you kidding me? Your brother still ain't got no bitches? You gonna smash that MILF tonight, bro? Type of conversations, and I feel like it's really immature to talk that way in your 30s. I agree. He tells me it's just how guys talk with each other and they're just jokes, and I'm too sensitive, but I think it's degrading to hear things like that as a woman. He told me he just won't say things like that for me to hear anymore, but he's still gonna talk that way with the boys. Am I just overacting, or is this normal, or is this immature? It's very immature. It sounds like the boys are probably, you know, a group of friends that he's known since like middle school, high school, so they're still they're still stuck speaking the exact same way that they did with each other in middle school and high school. So that's just the way they talk, and they're just not gonna grow up. He could be growing up outside of that, but some people, when you're around them, you act differently because that's the way you've always acted with them. Sometimes relationships don't mature. And it sounds like this person and the boys are all being very immature in the way that they interact with each other. And they're just enabling each other constantly because they're all talking that way, right? And nobody wants to be the guy that's like, you know what, guys? This is getting a little immature. We should tone it back. We should tone it back. But here's the thing. I feel like he feels like the only way I can stop doing this is if I speak that way and I tell him, oh, I'm not cool with this. And I come off as a pussy, you know, I don't want to do that. You don't even have to say that. You can just change the way that you speak, and slowly it will get phased out. One by one, all of them just slowly stopped saying things like that, and eventually will stop being said. And in a comfortable way, to phase it out without you feeling like you have to take an aggressive stance on not saying it or talking about it anymore, right? But here's the thing. All these people are unreliable narrators, right? So to play devil's advocate, is he really saying this? Or is he saying something much lighter and a much more friendly way that's being taken this way by his wife? You know what I mean? It could be something as much as like, oh, yeah, make me a sandwich. Like, I don't know. Or like, oh yeah, that girl, she was a MILF. And she takes that and stretches it to, you gonna smash that MILF tonight? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? I, 29-year-old male, am married to my wife, 44-year-old female. Sheesh. Am I being reasonable in my request for video game time? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm excited for this one. The age discrepancy between the two is going to be the issue. I'm telling you that right now. 44-year-old woman is in a different era when it comes to how integrated video games are in somebody's life, and that's going to be the issue right there. TLDR, wife thinks I play too many video games. Oh, but does he though? You still could play too many. My wife and I have been married for 4 years now. Recently, the last few years, because of her job, I have taken over the lion's share of parenting during the week for 2 children, 6-year-old male and 2-year-old female. Occasionally, my wife works carries over to the weekend, and it'll be the same deal. Not so much anymore, thankfully. However, I also have a full-time job. I pay my own loans, utilities for all of us, rent for all, groceries for all, etc. She makes 3 times my wage and pays mortgage on house being built and daycare. Sheesh, okay. The thing is, I like to play video games. Ever since the kids, way less. That's understandable. I just want 4 to 6 hours a week, averaging 1 to 2 right now, and still getting a lot of grief. This is after the kids are asleep. My wife thinks that is too much. She gets mad when I play video games and wants me to exclusively spend time with her. We go on dates every week or two, watch movies together, go out to eat, but I guess it's not enough. I'm just exhausted after cooking and parenting and need to relax my way occasionally. Advice. This is bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. I'm sorry. He's only getting 1 to 2 hours a week right now, right? Is that what he said? Right now, he's only able to get 1 to 2 hours a week when mommy fetish goes too far. What does that even mean? Mommy? Listen, people can be reasoned with. People can come to an understanding. Just because she doesn't understand the video games and she's annoyed by it does not mean that she's a bad person. Okay, there's so many different relationships that the woman thinks that the man plays too many video games, but it's because they don't explain it properly. I feel like if you just live with her, be like, hey, think of this as my hobby. This is how I relax. This is how I unwind. This is what keeps me sane at the end of the day. I love spending time with you. They go on dates. They say once every week or two. that's good. That's really good. They both work full time and they have 2 young children. That's crazy that you're able to get out of them. Most people will get no dates, no nothing, and then they'll just play video games all day, every day. Somebody in the chat said, I feel like he's not telling the whole story. That could be true, but I feel like this is a very common problem where one partner or the other, whatever, it's normally female to male. That's just the way it is, whatever, thinks that their partner plays too many video games and aren't around enough for them. Everyone needs their space. Some people, it's hard for them to adjust somebody wanting their own separate time. It's hard for some people because some people are very clingy and some people very much need space to recharge. But you've been married for 4 years. You should know this about your partner by now. You need to explain to your partner what it means to you and be like, hey, this is something I need in my life for me to function as a human. This is something that I need. I need my downtime. This is the way I work. You should already know this about him as a person. So it is a little selfish to be like annoyed with it all the time when it's like, hey, I need this for myself. But I feel like if you really sit down and talk to your partner about it, if they're like, no, fuck you, then you're in a toxic relationship to begin with. And there's probably lots of other reasons why you should not be together apart from this. But if you're telling me everything in here is true, and this is exactly the way it's going, then yeah, sit down and have a talk with them. And if it's still like this, then maybe you're not suited for each other, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I feel like gaming matters more to my boyfriend than I do. I've been dating my 22-year-old female boyfriend, 23-year-old male, for about 8 months now. And I've been feeling like I will never matter to him as much as gaming does. He spends every night gaming for anywhere from 2 to 5 a.m. and then the next day sleeps in until 12 or 1. This means he is always sleep deprived, and when I come over, he's either sleeping, watches a show with me, and then sleeps. And then when I leave, he suddenly wakes up and has energy to game. I bust almost 2 hours to get to him. I caught him talking to a random girl on Discord, and while he says he's never flirted, she did tell him he had daddy vibes and that they continuously tried to game together. He sent her face reveals and never said he had a girlfriend. I don't know what to do or if I'm overreacting and being insecure about the gaming, but it's all he does. I FaceTime him, he's gaming. I message him at night, he's gaming. I just don't know what to do or feel. I don't think the gaming is the issue here, sweetheart. I think maybe the other women he's speaking to might be. This doesn't feel real. This doesn't feel like a real post because this is ridiculous. Why the fuck are you so stuck on how much he games when you're like, yeah, he's talking to another woman on Discord and sending her face reveals and he's saying that he has daddy vibes. It's like, okay, that would be enough to be like, bye, Felicia. If I caught my man's talking to some bitch on the internet and she's sending them photos of himself being like, and she'd be like, oh, daddy, daddy. I'd be like, bitch, you can have him. Bye. I'm sorry. Red flag. That's more than a red flag. That's, yeah, break up with him. Don't put up with that. That's some bullshit. He's either stringing her along or disingenuous about the nature of their actual relationship. Yeah, this is a bad relationship that neither of the people are gonna have the energy to call off. Yeah, it sounds like you said you have to take a 2-hour bus to see him, so I'm assuming that means that you guys aren't in the same area. I don't know how long you've been dating, but you're 22. Move on. 8 months? That ain't nothing. That ain't shit. Move on. And hey, you know what? If you don't want a gamer, then make sure when you get with the next person, you outline that in something that you don't want in your relationship. Because I doubt that he just started gaming after, the first 6 months of you guys being together. If he was always this way, then that's how he is. So I don't know why it's taking you 8 months to realize you don't like it, but move on.